you're not motivating, you're demotivating. A few years ago, I was watching TV, and up came a program on the Ernest Shackleton expedition that went down to Antarctica. And it caught my attention because it seemed like, how did this happen? It was the early 1900s. And I watched the show and I thought it was an amazing story about how the human nature, the human spirit is to really be motivated. What happened was in about 1914, Ernest was putting together an expedition, and he put an ad in the paper looking for some sailors or some people to go on this journey. He needed 27 people. And when he put the ad in, you got to realize in 1914, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have all of those extra things that you're going to need to be able to get mass marketing. And even with that, he had a great turnout. But let me tell you what the ad is, and this talks to the self-motivation component. It says, wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in case of success. Now, if you want to have a recipe for possibly everything going wrong, I mean, think about putting an ad in the paper today. How many people would show up? Well, this is 1914, and people have said 50 people show, 100 people. Well, actually, 5,000 people applied for this job. I mean, Cambridge-educated people as well as sailors. The gamut was all over the place, and it shows to the human spirit, the soul, that people want to have something to live for, to do, to be excited. They're self-motivated. And what happened in this journey, which was really exciting, the ship that they were on was called the Endurance. They traveled down to Antarctica, and during that expedition, there's moving water masses. And at one point, they had set up on an ice platform, and in the middle of the night, the temperature dropped drastically. It dropped down real low, and it froze the boat in place. Now it's on a moving block of ice. And then at one point, 5 months in, the boat was crushed in the middle of the night. So now they had all of this, these people, they had all this gear, and they had to make a choice. What did they do? And they lived for months on the ice. And at one point, 5 people decided that they were going to go, including Shackleton, they were going to go try to find a place to survive. How they were going to do it? So they over ocean, onto land, and crossing over a mountain, they finally got to this one destination where they were able to get help. And the surprise was every single person survived. The whole team survived. And they didn't survive because he was motivating. They survived because he planned well. They survived because he was able to coordinate well. He was able to structure well. His systems and structure were in place, and it enabled him to do an amazing job of keeping this crew together. Now, if you take that information and you say to yourself, you're either motivating or demotivating, in this case, he motivated by doing the job he was intended to do. He motivated because he was a great leader in the systems, the processes, the new product development, the technology, the education. And what's the culmination of this was 2 years later, he tried to have this exact same expedition. He wanted to really get down to Antarctica. And there were 27 people on the first one. All of them re-enlisted, except for, I think there was one that died. And when I finished that show, I could not think about how, if you're a great leader and you can tap into the fact that people are really looking for life's experiences, they're really looking to do something more, and if you could tap into that, you can achieve amazing results and amazing things. So next time you're in a situation where you're thinking that you have to pay them more to get them to do the job, no. What I would like you to be thinking about is how, if you changed what you do, how you could make the world an amazing place. So, next time, the Endurance.